Jackson County from 8 a.m. Thursday until 2 a.m. Friday. Heat index values up to 104 degrees expected.
I just feel like we don't have a right to say anything about the heat in Michigan.
It's been hotter everywhere else.
Everywhere else, yeah. So some schools are canceling because of the heat and things like that. I don't know. It seems extreme. But of course, we do have some schools canceled due to the aftermath of the enormous fire we had downtown yesterday. Of course, everyone has seen the images from that horrific fire. It was amazing how quick that thing just went up, and you could see it for miles and miles.
The EPA has said that it is a site with toxic chemicals, including petroleum products and asbestos and other contaminants that have not been remediated from the site. The building was pretty much empty. In fact, it was on the auction block, and last week, on August 16th, it was sold to the highest bidder for $79,000. Interesting. A week before
That just happens like that, right?
a week before a fire, the building was sold.
Look at that thing raging.
Yeah.
Thanks to all of the firefighters and first responders, everyone in the county responded to that. I know 4 of our firefighters suffered some injuries, so hope that they are okay. That's the first thing I was thinking about when I saw that blaze. Like, oh my gosh, everyone's into action now. And then it looked so out of control. I was worried that it could spread. Depending on where you were looking at it from, you really didn't know kind of which direction the fire was coming from. So I think a lot of people were worried. And then it was lunchtime, so you had a bunch of people looking to go to the fire. You had other emergency personnel trying to get on the scene. The Jackson City Police did an amazing job blocking traffic as quick as possible. I don't know if they've been in a situation like that where they've had to block as many roads going east and west to allow for traffic to get away from that area. And it was right around lunchtime, so it was packed outside on the streets. So great job to all of the first responders, for sure. That's just scary stuff.
Yeah, every department in Jackson County responded. A great example of the cooperative agreements and spirit that exists among all our firefighters and first responders. And you're right, it did look like it had the potential of getting further out of control. And as we've seen in Hawaii and the wildfires in the Northwest, it doesn't take much when you have the dry conditions, hot weather, winds, and there were a lot of, and are a lot of buildings surrounding that, so hats off to the firefighters who worked very hard to control it. And unfortunately, 4 firefighters were injured, heat exhaustion primarily, treated either at the scene, and we're getting word that everyone's okay.
Good. Yeah, I think when you see a fire like that, and then you kind of picture like some of the fires out west and the ones in Hawaii, and you just wonder how they're even possible to contain, and they realize why they're not. Someone called me yesterday and told me they did not like the way I say Hawaii. Hawaii. Do I say it wrong?
No?
Okay. All right.
Sounds right to me.
Okay, thank you very much.
Schools are closed because of the fire. The health authorities, including the EPA, did make some recommendations apparently to JPS Superintendent Jeff Beal. So all Jackson Public Schools are closed today. The ISD Central Campus, the old Frost School, that's closed today, and St. John's School, which is kitty corner to the fire, also closed today. The street that the fire was on, North Street between Cooper and Blackstone, remains closed today. And the city is asking people to just stay out of the area. There are EPA investigators in town, and they've set up some monitoring devices in the neighborhood to measure if there are any contaminants in the air. The residents in the neighborhoods are still advised to keep their windows closed and to keep the air conditioning off while that assessment is being made.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, like you said, first full day of school for a lot of folks in Jackson County, which traffic was wild as all the new parents learn the new drop-off maneuvers. Plus, you have the younger kids' parents getting out of cars, taking pictures. It's wild. Were you on Facebook yesterday?
No, I stayed off it.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe how many first day of school pictures I saw. It's amazing.
I don't really need to go on Facebook because your mom, she reads it to me.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Very nice. The Jackson Golf Hall of Fame, yesterday I told you that an inductee was selected.
Oh, who is it?
I'm ready to tell you. It is, where's my list here? No kidding. It is Doug Hansen.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations to Doug. Doug has taught thousands of golfers. He should have taught you, Bart, how to play and improve their game, and proud to be this year's inductee into the Jackson Golf Hall of Fame. Doug will be the 71st member, and we play a golf outing at 9 o'clock, and then Doug will be inducted into the Hall of Fame at a ceremony at Sharp Park Golf Course at 1:30. Doug was a PGA pro, or has been a PGA pro for 44 years, the last 30 of them in Jackson, where he has provided instruction to golfers ranging from PGA Tour players to players like David Rice. Just been a great member of the PGA, and just really great for the game of golf in Jackson. So congratulations to Doug. His highlights as a player include top 3 finishes in the Michigan PGA Senior Pro-Am, the Michigan PGA Senior Championship, the Michigan PGA Pro-Am, and the Michigan PGA Pro-Pro. How about that?
He is
He's a
a
pro.
great guy.
Very
Doug
nice.
is an awesome guy. He's super friendly.
Yeah.
He's been behind the scenes in a lot of ways in this community, working on a lot of events and organizations. He's been a big supporter of Andy's Angels. He's been behind the scenes on all the K105 events. And as you said, all the golf in his history, the teaching, the playing. He's helped a lot of people over the years. So great choice. Nice job to the Hall of Fame
Yeah, I
committee.
think we got it right. So congratulations. Article on JTV.tv right now for more.
We have good news. The Tigers won yesterday,
Aye.
8-6 over the
For
Cubs.
the Cubbies.
Yes, Tigers are in 3rd place in the Central Division, the worst division in all of baseball. And there is a team that is worse, and it is the New York Yankees. They now have a 9-game losing streak, their longest losing streak in 41 years.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Wow. The
Wow.
mighty Yankees.
Wow, how about that? Wow, good for them. That's too bad. You know how I like those Dear Susie or Dear Abby or Dear Annie article headlines? I have one that I think might apply to you. Dear Annie, I want to go on a real vacation instead of babysitting my grandkids. You know, I think a lot of people, we've never done that to you, have we?
No.
But a lot of people do that. You know, you think you're going on this big week-long tropical vacation, but then you're stuck in the room babysitting your kids' grandkids. So is that anything you ever worry about?
No.
Okay.
It's delightful when I get to do it.
Very delightful. Okay.
Today's weather being brought to you by Tina, who's at Hometown Heating, Cooling, and More, and she's on top of the Blake Building right now. Let's check in with Tina.
Good morning, it's Tina at Hometown Heating, Cooling, and More, but I don't know about you, but I sure am excited for these kids to get back to school.
Tina's very excited. She has a couple kids going back to school. It is nice to get back into the routine. Very nice.
Today, the Detroit News is 150 years old.
Really?
Yes, it started on this very day, 150 years ago, as the Evening News in Detroit. And here's the first ever edition. And today, the Detroit News has amassed a list of the 150 Michiganians who most affected the news, history, and our lives
Really?
in the 150 years.
Really?
Yeah. Here's the top 5. Number 5, Walter Reuther, UAW founder. Number 4, Gerald Ford.
Ah,
Number 3, Thomas Edison. Number 2, Rosa Parks.
I'll be damned.
And who do you think's number 1?
Kwame Kilpatrick.
Henry Ford. Coleman Young's on the list.
Of course, Coleman Young's on the list.
So they're going to roll out the rest of the list.
I love lists, as you know. So very nice. The Detroit News. We've got an air show coming up at the Jackson County Airport, September 9th, Military Aviation Day. We're proud to sponsor that. There'll be a B-25 Mitchell Rosie's Revenge rides available in that. There'll be UH-1 Huey rides available, and that is sponsored by Trips Collision. And yeah, it's good stuff. So check out the airport. It's all free, except for the rides. You will have to pay for the rides if you do want to do one of the rides, but everything else is free. Check it out at the Jackson County Airport on Saturday, September 9th.
We'll be there. Tonight it's Tapas Night at Galazio in Albion. Have you been there yet?
I have.
It's an awesome place. It's in the old train station in downtown Albion. And tonight, Jazz Night and Tapas Night. Matthew Kay and Dan Palmer are playing from 6 till 9. And they've got a whole variety of tapas you can choose from. Choose 5 items for $16 at Galazio.
Tapas.
Tapas.
Small plates.
Am I saying it right?
Tapas.
Tapas. I was actually in Spain where
Oh.
they have tapas.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
That's the
So
one
you've been to
place-
Spain.
The one place I've been. Yes.
You went during the recession, too. I don't know if you know that.
I know.
You went in 08.
It was amazing. You would put, like in the ATMs over there, they'd take money out of your American US dollar bank account, and you'd think you were getting, like maybe $10 in Spanish money, and they took $200 out of your bank account.
Really? The most
Yeah.
memorable part about your trip to Spain for me was when you were gone. I remember I adopted 2 dogs
Oh,
while
yeah.
you were gone, so that was a highlight for me. Our show today brought to you by Vermeulen's Home Furnishings. They're in their 3rd generation. Thank you to Vermeulen's. There's a downtown cruise-in.
Big night, big weekend in
Big
Jackson.
weekend. Yeah, big weekend. Downtown cruise-in and concert this Friday. It's a busy weekend.
Yep.
Very
Got the
busy.
JSO.
Yeah, we've also got the Civil War muster. That's going to be the 26th and 27th. And Cascades Falls. And that is presented by Trips Collision. Trips has really sponsored this for quite a long time, keeping this around. So thank you.
Trips spends hundreds of thousands of dollars every year sponsoring events in the community.
Yes, he does.
They really do.
Yep.
You like animals. How about this? A rare giraffe was born at Bright's Zoo this week, over the weekend, in Tennessee. So rare, spotless. And the last known spotless giraffe was born in Japan in 1972. And I wonder if the spots will show up later, but the zoo says no, it's permanent.
Wow.
And they're trying to get a name for it. Here
Kinda
are the
looks like a
choices. You can
horse.
vote for one. Kipiki, Firali,
What?
Shakira, or Jamela. Those are the
Shakira, I
choices.
picked Shakira. It looks like a horse or a kangaroo.
A long-necked horse.
Yeah. It looks like a long-necked dog, Teague. It looks like a Great Dane.
It could be maybe a combo, but no, the zoo says it's
Is that the giraffe's
giraffe's mom.
father? The giraffe's father's
Well,
not there.
maybe there's two. There's two. One in the boy far bag. Maybe it's mom and dad. I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
I wonder if they're disowning it.
I think it's a rogue giraffe that's the father. Yes,
be.
it could be. It's just snuck into the pen.
Snuck into the pen.
Snuck into the pen. Our show today is brought to you by Frosty Boy of Vandercook Lake. Stop by their drive-thru or walk up and enjoy wonderful Frosty Boy ice cream from Frosty Boy of Vandercook Lake.
From the police blotter, Officer Goebel was dispatched for a 28-year-old female causing problems.
What
Stop.
kind of problems?
That's all we know.
I wonder what it was.
Let that be a lesson. If you're causing problems,
Do not cause problems. We'll call
police
911.
they'll come.
That's pretty big. Interesting. It's time for our Extreme Dodge Scoreboard, brought to you by our friends at Extreme Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Their new building is open. The exit is open. Everything's open.
Brand new road.
Brand new everything. Volleyball, Sand Creek beat Napoleon 3-2, and then Napoleon beat Onstead 3-0. Concord swept their matches. They beat Olivet and Hanover 2-0. Springport 2, Pittsford 0. Homer 2, Springport 0. Boys cross country. Jackson was over at Three Rivers, and they finished in 9th place with 2:45. Here's what's coming up on deck for tonight, and as far as we know, all of this will be happening. Volleyball, Michigan Center at Northwest, and then Western hosts a tri-meet at 5. Concord is on the road at Pittsford for cross country, and then boys soccer, Columbia home, Jackson Christian home, Michigan Center home, Northwest on the road at Tecumseh, Chelsea at Western. Girls golf, Pinckney in town at Jackson. That'll be at Sharp Park, 3 o'clock. Boys tennis, Columbia and Lumen on the road, Northwest, and Jackson play each other today at 4. That's our scoreboard and on deck, brought to you by our friends over at Extreme Dodge.
And new this year on the Extreme Dodge Scoreboard, college events, scores, and results, upcoming games with Jackson College and Spring Arbor University on the Extreme Dodge Scoreboard. Who's on the show today?
We've got a wonderful show lined up. We're going to get things started with Lumen Christi Catholic School Principal Ben Learned after this break.